You know, all attention's on the Apple event today, the annual keynote event that's in San Francisco. And it's where the company is unveiling lots of new technology, most notably their newest iPhone.
It's the best iPhone that we have ever created. This is iPhone 7.
Looks the same though, doesn't it? Apple also announced their decision to get rid of the headphone jack from the iPhone 7 as they try to move their technology into the future. Take a look at this.
It makes no sense to tether ourselves with cables to our mobile devices. But until someone takes on these challenges, that's what we do. Well, our team at Apple has worked so hard to create something new that delivers on the opportunity of how good a wireless experience can be. And they've worked hard to deal with the challenges that have been left there and no one has taken on. So that is why today we are so excited to show you a new product from Apple called Apple AirPods.
All right, we didn't get to see it there, but they are essentially wireless versions of what Lindsey Turrentine is wearing. She joins us. She is the editor-in-chief of CNET.com. And I just want to say, Lindsey, these wireless AirPods, as they're called, are sure to get lost in couches and under rugs all over the country and around the world. What did you make of this development? Because it seems to be the most seismic out of everything that was announced today.
Well, the AirPods are sort of interesting. Bluetooth headphones aren't entirely new, but they'll definitely become a little bit more accepted after this. They don't come with the iPhone. The iPhone 7 is still going to come with a pair of wired earbuds, whatever you want to call them, EarPods, that will attach through the Lightning adapter. If you want Bluetooth earbuds, you can buy these from Apple. You can buy them from lots of other manufacturers. These are kind of interesting because they sort of look like like you said, what I'm already wearing. To me, they kind of look like a Q-tip broke off in your ear, to be honest.
I agree. I completely agree. When they showed the first image in their presentation, you know, I mean, it's always been cool to have an iPhone, and having the kind of white headset made you look kind of interesting. But who wants to walk around with Q-tips hanging out of their noggin?
It is a little odd. I'm assuming that this makes the audio fidelity better because you sort of like a boom mic, a little bit, get the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth,
Maybe.
give you something to sort of hang on to. But yeah, lots of cracks on Twitter about what happens when these fall out while you're walking down the street. And I saw a funny tweet that basically said, well, if you lose one, you can just pick up somebody else's that fell on the street.
You know, there was a lot of buzz also about how the new iPhone is waterproof. How big of a deal is that, and do you think that'll be a major selling point?
Technically speaking, it's water resistant, like a lot of other phones on the market. So if you look at what Samsung has to offer, very similar types of devices. But they say you can jump in a pool with it. You know, it will be water resistant to a certain number of feet. And it's a big deal. I mean, if you think about how often you use your phone in circumstances that are less than dry, like even just in the kitchen, it's going to make a big difference, and I think people are excited to have that it's sort of intense water resistant. It's a totally expected next step for the phone.
And it's expected because there are other devices who are already water resistant. You have, I think, Samsung's Galaxy phones tout some of that technology. Apple, though, really has saturated the market with its iPhones in many models and many iterations. Who or what is its closest competitor in this market?
I would say the Samsung Galaxy line is absolutely the closest competitor in this market. You know, that's the product out there, the Android product with the most name recognition. But, you know, Google has its Nexus line, which is really popular with people who get really into these things. And in many ways, as Apple often does, it's playing kind of a very fast follow catch up. It kind of lets other manufacturers try things out in the market, sees what other people are getting excited about, and then follows up with their own version, which can be very appealing. And you know, this year Apple is adding another color, the high gloss black, which looks awfully pretty. So they'll sort of add some extra shine to something that already exists.
Okay, it's a fascinating look at this new iPhone. I wonder, though, Lindsey, is it enough to get to get folks at home to actually purchase or upgrade?
I think that it's a little bit of a stretch, but you know, there are a lot of people who will invest in a new phone every year. Apple now has a program that lets you pay on an ongoing basis to get the new upgrade every year. So, you know, it's really It depends on your situation. If you own an iPhone 6, not the 6S, and you're really into the iPhone, it's probably a good time to upgrade. You're going to get more memory, and they're talking a lot about extended battery life. There's a new processor. Apple is saying you'll get probably about 2 more hours of battery a day. If you're pretty happy with what you have, it's a stretch. It's not really that different. The camera is improved. That happens every year. It's going to get better and better every year. You wait another year, the camera will be even better, I promise.
And I just want to say, Lindsey, for the record, I once did drop my iPhone and I stuck it in a bag of white rice, like dry white rice, and it did help.
Was it
Not
wet?
an old wives'
Was it
tale.
wet in the first place?
It was wet. I don't know if I was just lucky or if it's
It's
an
going to
old
be wet
wives'
before you
tale.
put it in the rice, but yeah, there you go. It worked out.
It worked. It sucked out the water, I think.
It's the best trick, and it's the best. I've done it too.
You
Everybody-
have? Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Endorsement from Lindsey, too.
You heard it here. Lindsey Turrentine, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Take care.